And I would like to invite a dear friend and a former student, Kristapor Najarian. Please come up. Yes. Let's try to sit on these chairs and not fall down. Okay. Aha. So while Antonio is figuring his music out, this guy, I know him for quite some time. A few years ago, I received a DVD of Kristapor playing violin and electric guitar because he was applying to UCLA as a violinist. So he ended up studying violin at UCLA Herb Alpert School of Music, and he played wonderfully.
Remember what I played? Probably not. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd ask.
But then Chris developed also wonderful, and he did very well as a violinist. As a matter of fact, he traveled to Armenia as a violinist and performed the work of American composer George Crumb. Did the Armenian premiere of Black Angels by George Crumb, which is it's not a joke. It's one of the hardest pieces of music. Maybe because of those experiences with communication with new music, he actually developed passion for composing, and he took a second major as a composer and graduated both as violinist and composer. To fast forward, Chris is already author of a few commissioned works which have been performed nationally and internationally, including the 2 violin work that Chris and I performed right here 1 year ago. Now I'm going to ask Antonio to tell us why is he here? And why is Chris here? Why we are together here? What's happening?
Well, actually, the same piece that you're talking about, this duo called Tales for 2 violins, was a piece I heard a few times at UCLA, and then in the Diligent series with the Kavafian sisters, and I was so impressed by the work on each occasion. And so I approached Chris and asked him if he would consider writing 2 cello pieces. And then eventually we got the idea of maybe altering these, the tuning of the instrument, which maybe Chris will tell you a little bit more about. Gives an incredible opportunity for the cellos to sound very rich with overtones. And I was delighted to be able to find then somebody who generously would commission Chris to write this piece. And that person is Patricia Smith, an old friend of mine who's come to many, many concerts at UCLA. And I asked Charlie Tyler, who's a graduate of our doctoral program at UCLA, to perform it with me. So it's an incredible honor and delight and pleasure to be here.
Wonderful.
Me too, me as well.
Chris, can you tell us? Of course. Yeah. And I just heard the piece at the rehearsal. You're going to really enjoy it. And can you realize what a cool feel it is to be present at the world premiere of a piece? This is the first time ever this piece will be performed, and you're going to witness it. So I get kind of goosebumps every time I am like at the world premiere.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Chris, tell us a little how the piece is constructed, what you put in there, what your thoughts are.
It's 1 movement, so it's continuous, no stops. They were a little bit, I don't know, upset because I didn't give them any page turns, so they had to make do with that. But it's 1 movement. It has different sections within it. As far as the music goes, it's very personal in nature, and some of my other pieces were inspired by other events, world events, things like that. This was very personal and sort of a reflection of how I was feeling the last year or so, and how people close to me were feeling. So that's all I'll say about it.
And I'm sure some of the things you don't want to say because people want to be open to different interpretations. You can, But can you tell us about the scordatura? What exactly you decided to do with tuning?
Yeah, it literally means mistuning. But Antonio and I talked about what's the best option. We said we don't want both cellos to be the same, so let's make them different. One of them is the same tuning as the Kodai Sonata. I don't know if you know, but it's a B, F sharp on the bottom, and D, A. And the other one is C sharp, F sharp. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I'm giving it away. But C sharp, F sharp. So we decided this together. We experimented together. We thought these had the best qualities, sonically, and it fit the music the best for what I was writing and what suited them the best. What fit well with the instruments as well. We wanted to do something that wouldn't harm the instrument, that would still be interesting. And Antonio was obviously, the expert on that I went to.
Great.
Asked a lot about,
So in wrapping up this little chat, I maybe on behalf of Antonio and I, the older of the three here, so I would say how really special it is for us, because we're sharing stage and an event such as this with our students, with our former students who both are doing so well. Charlie Tyler, whom you will meet in a moment, is a fantastic cellist who's very active in Los Angeles. Actually, we're lucky that he has this night free to perform because he's so busy. And he's a specialist in Armenian music, just like Antonio is. I don't know any other two cellists who played more contemporary Armenian classical music.
In LA.
In LA. Than Antonio and Charlie. Well, that says a lot. You've been to Armenia, you performed so many works difficult works by Mansourian, Zohrabian, Khachaturian, let's just name it. And this will be Charlie Tyler's third Armenian world premiere. He premiered Zohrabian piece, and this January at Zipper Hall, Michel Petrosian piece. Makes us feel great.
Well, it was this man who introduced us to it all. So,
well, let's enjoy the piece and let's welcome Charlie Tyler on stage as well.